Hello, so just try to film this and I dropped my camera, so I'm doing it again. Apologies for the lighting and apologies for how I look because I've just been for a dog walk, so this is my dog walking outfit. Anyway, I just wanted to show you these pieces that have just came out the kiln. This is pretty much my first kiln opening of 2025. Haven't got a lot, to be honest, and that's totally fine. These are just some pieces that I've been like slowly working on. Also, the kiln, the bisque fire that I did for this kiln was very full with some workshop pieces, so that's kind of why I wasn't able to put as much of my own stuff in, but that's absolutely fine. But I've done a little like reel for each Instagram. It's going to be about like 10 minutes, but that's okay. But some of these pieces have come out really nicely. I kind of feel like I'm not 100% sure about this glaze that I've used, but they look really sweet and they look really nice. So I think that's all that probably matters. But we've got a small kind of, you could probably use it as like a matcha bowl or like a little trinket dish. And it's got this really nice like matte green glaze on the outside, which has like tiny little speckles of blue on it, and it's really pretty. These are all going to be available at the end of the month if you're interested. Haven't got many, but you know. So you've got a lovely like fern on the inside, and then just like this really nice green on the outside. And I specifically did kind of like these nice I don't know what like ringed foot. I don't know what the correct terminology for that is, but a lot of them are like that. And then we also have a small little bowl that you could use for, again, like rings or keeping, I don't know what you could keep in it. You could probably use it as like a little tea cup as well, to be honest. But yeah, use it whatever you want. Or just have it as like a decorative piece, that's always quite nice as well. And then on the front it's got someone holding a sword, and then on the back I've got another little fern with like, again, the green glaze on the inside. These aren't like 100% finished because I am going to add some gold luster to them, which I think I'll do today. And then you've got this one, which is another, I've got like three that are kind of like trinket dish style pieces that are, I've got like this really nice like decorative piece on the inside, and then they've got like a green rim. I just want to add like a little bit more colour to my pieces, and I really like coloured glazes, but I'm like not super experienced in them. Like I don't use them very often. The majority of my pieces are just like, it's more of a focus on the painting elements than like, yeah, the glazing elements, if that makes sense. And then you've got this one, which is like a double pourer, which looks quite interesting. It was a mistake piece that I intended it to be just like a nice like milk jug, handheld milk jug, but then I accidentally knocked the other side, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to make this like a double pourer. But the way that I've done it, it does like sit quite nicely. It kind of slightly overlaps the finger, so then it feels a little bit more sturdy in the hand, so that feels quite nice. And it's got, yeah, a hair, and then it's got like some stars, some clouds, and a little house. But the only thing that I don't like about this glaze is that it's a brush on glaze, and like I've never really been a fan of brush on glazes. I feel like I get a way better finish if I like pour or dip, but I'm finding it hard to find like where I can bulk buy like powdered glaze, because I don't mind like mixing it myself. All of like the nice like green glazes come like bottled, but I don't know if I need to just find maybe like a better supplier. This is like a bit of an experiment, so I'm trying to find a nice green to do these frog mugs, which I'll show you a little picture there. But basically I didn't realise, so the glaze that I used in this like original piece isn't food safe, but this glaze is. But again, I'm having like the same issue is where, because my application mustn't be that great because it's coming out like a little bit blotchy. I don't know if you can really see it on camera, but because the glaze is matte, I'm finding it like a little bit difficult to like apply and like get really smooth. Again, any tips for that would be helpful. I just prefer like dipping, to be honest, and pouring than, yeah, using a brush, but that's okay, we learn. And then we've got, this is a dragon and castle. I don't know how well you can see these in this camera, but, and then again it's got the nice like green rim on it. In terms, this has got a tiny little crack on it, but like in terms of these pieces, they all came out like really, really nicely. Like I've not really had any issues with like cracking or chipping or anything like that. This is the piece that I think if you follow me on Instagram you would have seen. So I started decorating this altar and then I accidentally broke it, but I fixed it and it's like pretty sturdy now, and I am still going to sell it. I'm going to put a nice gold rim on it and I'm just going to sell it like really heavily discounted, and then whoever wants it, they can have it. But again, it's got like, I just quite like the contrast of I want to add more colour to my work, so I like the contrast of like the matte green and then this really like detailed piece on the inside. Just gives it a little bit of something. I've also got a tiny bit of like, I think it's called pinholing on the glazes as well, not just with that one and like the mug, there's like tiny little like pinholes at the bottom, so don't really think I can use this mug anyway for drinking out of because of that issue. So yeah, that's all of like the decorative pieces. So now I'm just gonna show you these little frogs that I've made, which you would have seen me making in the last vlog, but they look so sweet. I'm so pleased with them. I'm really, really pleased with them. They've came out so well. And I also, this again another little experiment, I, instead of bisque firing these and then glaze firing these, I just put them straight in for a glaze firing. I like dip them in glaze and then just put them in, because I know that you can sometimes do that with like very small pieces that are very, very dry, and like they've obviously worked very, very well for me. So it means that like I don't have to, because these would be very good kiln space fillers just because they're like so small. But they've all came out like pretty well, to be honest, considering that they just went straight from greenware to glazed. But I know, like I did some research ages ago and like I found like a this woman who does it, but again her pieces are like really, really small, and I do a very, very small like glaze, very small, I do a very, very slow glaze firing. Oh, see, we have got a crack here actually, so then maybe this one wasn't dry enough. But all of them have worked apart from one. That one's got a crack in the bottom, I don't know if you can see. But they feel so lovely and like so nice, and they feel very nice to hold. They feel quite nice to like fidget with as well. And then finally we have some snails, which I'm so pleased with. They are so sweet. I tried to make snails early last year and they just were really bulky and just, yeah, they just didn't really work, to be honest. I didn't like how they looked. But I love these, and I think I need to just play a little bit more with the glazing, but they look so sweet. But yeah, but that is kind of it. That is my first like kiln opening of 2025. Not a very big one, but that is so okay. And yeah, these are all going to be available on my Etsy at the end of the month, so if you feel like you can, please go have a look at my Etsy. Share it, whatever, obviously if you can't, because I know not everyone's got the funds these days with everything going on in the world, but if you feel like you can, share it, get it out there. But yeah, they'll be available at the end of the month. I'm hoping the frog mugs will be available at the end of the month, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I think I'm probably going to add this as like a little separate video, to be honest, just because it took so long to do. It takes like 10 minutes. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I'll just see you in my regular vlogs. Bye!